Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Crypto. My name's Don. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching today's video. If you are watching it live, good morning. We are still before 12 o'clock, so we are still in the morning time. But yeah, hello and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto. I have, a very interesting episode, as you can see from today's title. I'm going to explain the ways that you can make 100x on your investment, how easy that can actually be if you're able to, follow the steps that I'm going to cover in today's video. So yeah, make sure that you stay tuned for the whole video and I will explain that in much more detail. So first things first, as we always do, we will look at the prices of crypto because obviously we have seen some movement the past 24 hours, but let me jump into that and see exactly if, should we be caring about that, or is it just another movement before the kind of hype of October starts? Now, of course, again, as you can see on screen, if you haven't already, please consider joining the CC Pro Discord community. We have over 2,000 active members each and every single day, chatting, loving, and just taking guidance from us and the team on crypto. So it's definitely the place to be. But anyway, you can click the link below and check that out. Like I said, let's look at the prices first of all and see exactly what is going on. So currently we have Bitcoin sitting at $26,594. We then have Ethereum at $1,593. BNB at $210. We then have XRP at 50 cents. Dogecoin at 0.06, Cardano at 24 cents, Solana $19, and then Toncoin at $2.30, which is actually up almost 18% on the week, which is, again, Toncoin just seems to have appeared out of nowhere the past kind of few months, and yeah, it's already gained momentum enough to get into the top 10. But anyway, like I said, the price movements have been here or hereabouts the past few days. Bitcoin, still currently 0.32% the past 24 hours. In the past week, it has done 0.14. So as much as there was a little bit of price movement yesterday, we've seen it kind of spike above 27,000. Realistically, once again, nothing has happened. But anyway, we will move on to the news and kind of figure out what's going on in crypto. So first things first, if you are a big fan, and I'm assuming you are, and you've watched this channel a few times, you'll know that I quite like to talk about ETFs and kind of what they're all about. Are they worth paying attention to? Well, I haven't spoken about them too much in the past, week, 2 weeks, whatever it may be, but there is some kind of updates and I want to just kind of cover them for you right now. So the headline reads, Bitcoin ETFs or not, don't expect a sexy crypto bull run. Apparently this has been spoken about. So the next crypto bull run will look nothing like the last one, and investors should tame their expectations of an imminent rocketing of cryptocurrency prices. Now, that's what this person, Lars Seer Kristinen, the founder of enterprise blockchain Concordium, told the Cointelegraph very recently. So, as the majority of crypto markets look to the swath of proposed spot Bitcoin ETFs, with obviously bullishness, that is, in my, again, humble personal opinion, I do think that the ETF stuff will help kind of catapult the bull run in kind of March, April of 2024. But yeah, some people don't believe in that so much. But anyway, this Kristinen guy is also kind of doubtful of their approval will be an immediately meaningful driver for the crypto markets. Now, even if you do get a Bitcoin rally, he has said, I don't think you should naturally assume that everything is going to rally with it. That's kind of normally how it goes. But anyway, we'll move on to the rest of the article. Does that necessarily mean that Ethereum and a lot of other older altcoins are going to rally on the back of it too? I think that that's nearly certain not going to happen. Now, is this guy a Bitcoin maxi? I don't know much about him, but he definitely sounds like a bit of a Bitcoin maxi. But anyway, that's a tweet that he had shared recently with, or not him potentially, but it was shared on Twitter regarding the dates. Remember, I've shown you this before quite a few times regarding the dates that the ETF filings will their last time that they can be approved or denied or whatever. I will come back to that in just a sec. Now, Christenen said that while digital asset prices have dampened over the last 18 months, in contrast, these are unabated interest in blockchain technology from the corporate side. Now, again, as I'm reading through this article, it's kind of appearing more and more that he is, one, a Bitcoin maxi, and two, kind of just trying to make this article as catchy as possible to then try and promote his blockchain company. Now, this means that the next step for the industry won't be marked by a particularly sexy rally where prices of crypto assets surge like they did in 2021, but rather a more subdued growth that will occur gradually over the next 18 months. Now, he also noted that the only reason corporate types need a crypto asset is in order to execute what they want to do on the given blockchain. So, I think it's very clear that you need to be aware that they are not in desperate need for a given crypto to increase significantly in value. Now, totally get that. I'm on board with that. But the main thing I would say is it's not all about the corporate. There is a huge amount of retail involved. Obviously, retail does drive a lot of kind of market buying. Yes, there's a large corporate side of it as well, but this guy, Christenen, who owns this blockchain firm, is very much doubled down on the fact that they care about corporate more than personal kind of retail investors. But anyway, not everyone would be inclined to agree. Of course, I don't kind of agree so much there. But Ben Simpson, who is the founder of crypto education platform, said that there's a wealth of data and indicators that suggest that we're already witnessing the initial stages of a Bitcoin bull market. Now, it's interesting he says that because if you follow us on Twitter, which you obviously should do, we tweeted out last night the fact that we have been in this kind of bear market for a very long period, and normally what that means is it's a signal of either there's an end coming or we're already kind of out of, or we've seen the end and we're now kind of, on to what's coming next, i.e. working towards a bull cycle. But anyway, I do agree that this bear market is coming to an end very, very shortly. It is, again, just speaking from experience, it's hard to pinpoint exactly, right, today is the day of the end of the bear market and today is the new bull market. It's really hard to do that. However, when the bull market's kind of 6 months into its, starting period, when you start to look back at charts and I guess, behaviour of news and whatnot, you can start to kind of pinpoint, right, that was probably there or thereabouts the end of the bear and the start of the bull. Now, a bull market just doesn't mean that it's instantly going to go up. There's obviously a lot of work to be done throughout the start of a bull market. These companies or these projects that have been putting in a lot of work in the bear market will obviously gradually start to take off a lot quicker at the start of a bull market into the full drawn out bull market, shall we say, because they have been putting the hard work in throughout the full entire bear market. Now, there's a project exactly like that I'm going to mention at the end of today's video, so please make sure you stay tuned for that. But like I said, I do believe we're coming to, if not, we are at the end of which seems to be the never-ending bear market of 2022 into 2023, but yeah, like I said, I think we're there. It's the 22nd of September, therefore we're only a kind of week or so away from quarter four. And again, I go on about it quite a lot, but for me, quarter four is a very exciting time in crypto, and kind of it's a good time to warm your heart, shall we say, because in the UK it's cold now. It's the end of summer, so let crypto kind of take over and warm you up, warm your profits up, and Anyway, let's move back into the actual news for today. So the next point I wanted to make was, you may have seen this floating around recently. It floats about every so often, and it's regarding Mt. Gox. So obviously Mt. Gox was a huge, if not one of the main exchanges back kind of 10 years ago. There has been some worrying kind of information that if the Bitcoin that's been locked up for years and years and years is to be released, that people will just dump on the market and it will cause the prices to dump. So that's been FUD that's been spread for years, and it will continue to be spread until, it happens, if it does happen. So it says here then, Mt. Gox Bitcoin repayment, the day that never comes. So Mt. Gox is the infamous 2014 security breach that apparently lost 850,000 Bitcoin of investors' funds, resulted in a users embarking on a seamlessly never-ending, decade-long pursuit of closure via funds reimbursement. Now, over the years, Mt. Gox has repeatedly postponed plans to reimburse the funds that crypto exchange had barred its users from withdrawing since February of 2014. So, almost 10 years, they've said, no, sorry, you cannot get your funds. We just can't give you them at all, which is, pretty interesting stuff. But anyway, here is, I guess, some letters that we've seen regarding, well, you're not getting them, and the deadlines have changed once again, like they have done many, many times. So, Mt. Gox postponing its repayment deadlines by one more year from October 31st of this year until October 31st of next year, so 2024. The wait for redressal extends into the 11th year for the investors. That is pretty stressful. However, when you do eventually get those Bitcoin back, then I'm pretty sure you may be quite happy if, going by what I believe personally, again, no financial advice, but I personally believe that October 2024 will be a very, very fruitful time for the crypto prices. So if you are able to get your lost Bitcoin at that period, one, there'll be a lot more liquidity in the market. So if you are going to be selling a lot of it, it shouldn't then affect the prices too much. That's what people's kind of panic is at the moment, because there's not a huge amount of liquidity in or out of Bitcoin. They're worried that if someone was to sell 10,000 Bitcoin, it would crash the market potentially. But if, again, in my opinion, that October 2024 is exactly what I hope it will be and what I think it will be, then if you do sell it, if you do sell 10,000 Bitcoin, it won't have much of an effect because the liquidity's there. It's much easier for the price to kind of hold and sustain at that current price. Now it says here, look, check this. This is so interesting. So, in 2014, the year of the largest Bitcoin hack, the average Bitcoin price was $420. So imagine you bought, again, 10,000 Bitcoin at $420. Just how much profit you will have made for it being stuck on an exchange for 10, 11 years. Not a bad bit of profit if you are, that's if you are able to then get that Bitcoin back from the exchange. Anyway, so days after the breach, leaked documents revealed that the exchange actually became insolvent. So if you remember back in November of last year with the FTX news, people were speaking and comparing FTX to Mt. Gox because apparently they'd become, insolvent potentially. So it says here then, this was a quote from the documents, the cold storage has been wiped out due to a leak in a hot wallet. The reality is that Mt. Gox can go bankrupt at any moment and certainly deserves to as a company. Now, it was generally assumed that the fall of Mt. Gox would mean the end for Bitcoin, considering that the exchange managed 70% of the total circulating Bitcoin at the time. Mt. Gox filed for bankruptcy protection, in the Tokyo District Court. That's obviously in Japan because Tokyo is obviously in Japan. After losing nearly $500,000 in value, the exchange was soon hit by numerous lawsuits as investors feared the possibility of the Mt. Gox intentions to return investors' funds. The sentiment of mistrust grew over the year as Mt. Gox revealed no plans to reimburse while deleting its website and social media presence. So, yeah, that still happens. This whole, just going offline. We haven't seen it that often, or we haven't seen it as much the past year, I would say. But definitely have seen a lot of this happen in the past where exchanges or crypto firms, especially NFT firms, decide to, scam their audience and then just delete everything because there's no way of tracing them. So they'll delete their social media, they'll delete the website. There was one, I think it was last summer, probably about this time last year potentially, but the website had come up and it was obviously hackers and they had put, we've stole all of your money, there's nothing you can do, haha, basically. So it did happen before. It hasn't happened that often. You tend to see it more in bull markets rather than what you do in a bear market. But yeah, it does happen, and it's kind of what happened with Mt. Gox. They just, well, deleted everything, and that obviously sparked more concern over the years. But anyway, we all know the story with Mt. Gox, and it is apparently, well, hopefully, going to be much better in the future for crypto exchanges. But it's also why we speak so heavily about safety and where you store your crypto, where you store your Bitcoin, whatever it may be. And it's why we focus quite heavily on it. If you do obviously want to know more about that, you can join us on one of our full intense 5-day crypto courses where we literally tell you everything that you need to know, not all the fluff that you think you need to know. We tell you the direct 5 days intense of what you actually need to know in crypto. Because trust me when I say this, you do not know enough about security, you do not know enough about crypto investing, and well, I'm sorry, but that's just the facts. And yeah, I can help you if you want it. If not, enjoy the journey without me. Anyway, let's jump back into some more news. Now, next article I want to discuss is regarding NFTs. Now, of course, NFTs, in my opinion, are a great kind of, well, the actual technology is great. However, in 2021, we did see a lot of hype around the NFT technologies. Now, this exact article is quite an interesting one because it says NFTs are totally worthless, says the mainstream media. Now, normally, we don't listen to the mainstream media. Well, hopefully you don't anyway. However, what I think was quite, well, funny and interesting is, if you remember, go back to 2021 and just look at how many mainstream media corporations were pumping NFTs and we're talking about NFTs and telling us that NFTs were the next big thing and everyone must get an NFT collection and so on and so forth. So yeah, it was the mainstream media once again pumping and dumping, and now, well, they're saying that they're totally worthless. All right, thanks very much, mainstream media. I'm glad you have kind of tuned in or chimed in on this. Now, anyway, check this out. So, mainstream media outlet Rolling Stone has declared that NFTs are finally totally worthless, citing the results of the DAP Gamble study on the evolving landscape of NFTs. Now, the study found that as many as 95% of NFTs have no value at all. Now, a little birdie tells me that we told you so with NFTs way over a year ago, probably 2 years ago, on a certain podcast, which we have shared many times before. You know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, check out our Instagram and check out the link tree in our link bio. And, in our link bio? Check out the link in our bio is what I meant to say. There is links to the podcast that we have been on, and we spoke about NFTs back in 2021, telling you this exact thing. Anyway, according to this study then, titled Dead NFTs, the evolving landscape of the NFT market, this was analysed by NFTs, 73,000 NFT collections to be exact. Among those thousands of collections, the researchers found that 69,000 of the collections have a market cap of 0. Okay. Interesting. Now, despite NFTs grabbing headlines for selling for millions, the study also shows that less than 1% of NFTs have a price tag of over $6,000. Now, this shows that the high-value NFT assets are very rare. Obviously, after the report was published, the response from the community has been quite varied, with some agreeing with the report and others linking to previous reports from the outlet that supported the same NFTs they have called out. Now, again, this kind of just goes back to what I have said. This is how the mainstream media play it. Now, one thing, again, I want to make very, very clear is the mainstream media, when it comes to NFTs, in 2021, when the hype was there, when everybody thought that NFTs were the whole point of crypto, the mainstream media outlets and all these studies did, again, jump on the hype, spread rumours that NFT is the next big thing. You need to get an NFT collection. Every business, music artist, every company, you name it, NFTs were in the mainstream media when it was hyped. Now, fast forward 2 years when, NFTs are not hyped. Crypto isn't as hyped as it once was. Now the mainstream media are jumping on and saying, do you know what? NFTs are actually worthless. you shouldn't use NFTs, the value is zero, they're not great, and so on and so forth. Now, this just goes to show you that the mainstream media cannot be trusted. They will push you in the direction that they want to push you in when it suits them, and they'll pull you back when it suits them. So again, another reason for me personally, not to trust the mainstream media. If you do want legit, real crypto news and I guess, financial news, you need to watch Coffee and Crypto. You need to subscribe to this channel, and you need to make sure that you turn on the post notifications to ensure that you never miss an episode of this channel. Now, back to the article. I just wanted to go off a little bit there for the mainstream media, just to make very, very clear. I don't just make this stuff up, by the way. Everything that I say on this channel is backed up by factual information, and it's also backed up with my very strong opinion. So that should be enough for you to trust it. Now, in a Reddit thread, most of the comments agreed with the report. Some called NFTs the worst things to emerge from crypto, and the others claimed that they were worthless ages ago. Despite this, a community member believes that while they may be worthless now, this may change in the future. Now, some will make a comeback, some will go up 1000% because of the bull, and people will then get mad again at the pixels that are worth millions. Now, do you know what? I do actually agree with that. NFTs, I'm not big on the hype cycle of them. I do believe in the underlying technology of NFTs and how they can map out and change a lot of things in the world. However, in crypto, unfortunately, what you do see is, just exponential gains in the craziest and most random things possible, i.e. NFTs. So, yes, I do believe that some NFTs, don't know which ones at this point, will make a comeback and they will do 1000% returns. Again, no financial advice, just my humble opinion. But it doesn't mean that they're good for, what they try and, say that they're good for. But yeah, anyway, that's my opinion on NFTs. It doesn't change. I've had the same opinion for years at this point. What's your opinion on NFTs? Drop me a comment below and let me know, because again, it's a kind of forgotten about word and technology now, but it is very much still a big part of crypto. Okay, moving on to PayPal. So I did mention this when it did launch it, and I gave my opinion on this where I thought it was potentially looking like a bad time to release a new stablecoin, but then I also then said straight off the back of that, actually launching in a bear market and being known in a bear market and building in a bear market is actually a smarter move than just launching in a bull market. It shows it shows that they're content in their plans. It shows that they're willing to accept that the market's not that great, but they're willing to accept that they need to build and grow a bit of credibility. And that's what I truly believe that PayPal have done with their stablecoin. So PayPal rolls out PYUSD stablecoin to Venmo users. Now, Venmo is obviously not part of what we can use in the UK, but it is a big US kind of processor. So it's September 20th blogs. A couple of days ago, the payments firm said that the company's stablecoin, which is obviously pegged to the US dollar, is already available to Venmo users and will be rolling out fully in coming weeks. The news came roughly 6 weeks after PayPal announced the launch of the stablecoin, saying that it would be issued by Paxos Trust and fully backed, that's very important, fully backed by the US dollar deposits. Now, again, I'm not going to touch on this too much, simply because, we don't have access in the country that I'm currently based in to Venmo. However, the reason I want to cover this is because PayPal, the US kind of dollar stablecoin, PYUSD, will be rolled out across the globe very, very soon. So it's important to know fundamentally and from the kind of foundations what the project is trying to do. And it's so that when it does come to the country, you can potentially, as a PayPal user, you're 10 steps ahead because you know exactly what's been happening in the past, 6 months or whatever it may be, depending on when you look back at this. You know exactly what PYUSD is, the partners they have, how it's accessible, how it's grown, the point of it. And again, it's the whole point of these Coffee and Crypto episodes. I try and kind of bring you up to speed as much as possible. I know that you're busy. You have a busy life. I also have a busy life. So Coffee and Crypto tries to kind of, gather all the good and kind of needed bits of news and info and give you them direct on your feed. But anyway, that's the news. Like I said, short and sweet from the PayPal news. But again, this is very positive. They are building, and yeah, it's looking very, very exciting. Now, interesting one, which we have spoke about quite a few times now. The EU Parliament research recommends that non-EU nations tighten their crypto regulation. Well, of course they do. Now, the European Parliamentary Research Services highlighted the need for a tighter oversight from non-European Union regulators to ensure greater stability and development in the global cryptocurrency market. Now, why am I covering this? Well, regulation is coming, whether it's for the good or the bad, or it's just coming as a positive kind of movement or the next part of the journey in crypto. The MiCA, obviously we all know about that, well, hopefully you know about that, is very much prominent in the EU, not so much in the UK at the moment. But again, they are pushing for it. So here, just to kind of quote what they have mentioned, this is MiCA. There are yet several channels through which the EU's financial system and autonomy is still at risk as it remains dependent on non-EU countries' policy actions in the context where MiCA is applicable. Now, potential implications around financial stability, lower market appeal and mainstream use of stablecoins were the main concerns highlighted by the report's authors. Now, I won't kind of dive into this too much. What I will say is if you pause today's video and even screenshot that or just read that in full detail, it's going to be much easier than me trying to read it all in detail for you. But yeah, pause today's video, read that out, and you'll see exactly where the kind of regulation is at the moment, where it stands and where it kind of, well, needs to go. So anyway, like I said, pause that and check it out. Okay, finally, moving on to the title of today's video. I did mention this at the start of today's video. This is where you can potentially make 100x return on your investment. So this is obviously, I've got a quote here, a quote tweet here from our friends at SwissBorg. Again, you know, SwissBorg are big supporters and we are big supporters of SwissBorg. Are you a SwissBorg member? You probably should be because, well, SwissBorg is like no other application where it gives you the access to kind of get seed rounds. Now, seed rounds, for anyone that doesn't know about a seed round, this isn't a new thing for crypto. This happens in all kind of investment kind of backgrounds. However, it's not commonly spoken about because you can never, unless you're a massive venture capitalist or you are a huge investment partner or whatever it may be, you need to be a very rich individual or kind of company to be offered and be included in the chance to get a seed round. Now, luckily for us, being SwissBorg kind of users, and luckily, hopefully, for you being a SwissBorg user, you have access as part of their kind of deals that they can offer us, access to seed rounds. So they've already did one for Xborg, again, about 6 weeks ago, or a few months ago now at this point, which not everyone was able to get. That's not the point of it. It's not open to, well, technically it's open to everyone, but it's on a first come, first served basis. So you really need to be kind of fingers at the ready and hope that you can get in. I know that many people did get the Xborg one and many people didn't get the Xborg one. Unfortunately, it is just, yeah, first come, first served. It is quite difficult, but the fact that we're even given the opportunity is big enough, in my opinion. But anyway, the next one I'm trying to cover here and kind of mention to you, as you all know by now, is the company Favor. So we're going to bring out some more content on Favor very, very soon on the main YouTube channel. So please make sure that you are subscribed for that, because in my opinion, I'm very excited for Favor. It's already a kind of live application in SocialFi, and you should check it out, but again, I will give you more kind of video content on that very, very soon. But why am I mentioning this? Well, yesterday was a bit crazy. Obviously, the Favor deal did go live on the SwissBorg app, and it sold out, as expected, very, very kind of shortly after it was launched. However, SwissBorg have mentioned that there's another vault been added, and it will go live today at 2 p.m. Central European time, which if you are in the UK, that is 1 p.m. today. So if you are watching this live, you have around 40 minutes before this goes live, and you'll be able to get in to the Favor Vault if you didn't manage to successfully get any yesterday. Now, again, it's open to all users, so please make sure you check your app just before 1 o'clock and get ready for this, and make sure you've got the available either CHSB or USDC sitting in your wallet ready to go, and you can snap up hopefully a seed round, because like I said, seed rounds are exactly how you can make 100x investments or 100x return on your investments. And how do I know that? Well, that's because I've did it before. I have managed 2 seed rounds in the past. One did, well, I think it was about 140x actually. However, I have had one before, like I said, that's done 100x. So 200x's, 1 plus 140x. However, the main point I'm trying to make is seed rounds are super, almost near impossible to get a hold of. However, SwissBorg make it possible for you to get access to seed rounds. So go check it out. If you don't have a SwissBorg app at the moment, so the SwissBorg Wealth app is my chosen exchange. If you don't already have one and you want to get involved in seed rounds, because there's no other exchange that I'm aware of that can offer its users a chance to, well, get access or early access to seed rounds that only venture capitalists are usually able to get. So yeah, that's why, that's one of many reasons SwissBorg is my chosen exchange. If you do want a SwissBorg account, by the way, you can click the affiliate link below in the description. Of course, if you do sign up using our link, we get a small kickback on that, and you also get up to €100 as a sign up kind of bonus as such if you are to deposit onto the exchange. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop me some comments below about SwissBorg. But if you click the link, there is multiple reasons for you to kind of, well, give it the opportunity, read about the exchange, make sure that it's the right exchange for you. Don't just sign up because I use it, but yeah, go do your research. As always, do your own research on exchanges. Well, again, another point I want to make, your capital is always at risk with crypto, so please make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you're educated enough, and if you're not, feel free to reach out. I can jump on a call with you and I can explain how I and the rest of the team here at Certified Crypto can help you educate and make sure that you are an absolute G when it comes to crypto investing and, well, safe crypto investing. Anyway, that's all for today's episode of Coffee and Crypto. I hope you all had a great kind of time. It's been a bit of a long 30-minute episode, but again, appreciate you sticking by me for these 30 minutes. If you did make it to the end of today's video, drop me a comment and say, I made it to the end, great stream, and of course I'll reply to the comment below. I've got a new camera set up and also some new lights set up. So again, I don't know why this light here is shown. Where is it? This one here. The camera seems to move a little bit, but it's got AI tracking. So apologies if the camera has been moving. I'm still trying to kind of figure out what to do with that. But yeah, that's all for today's episode. I'll see you on Monday for the next episode of Coffee and Crypto. If there's anything else you need from me or anyone on the team, click one of the links below and you'll be directed to, well, anything that you need. I hope you all have a great, fantastic Friday. Don't forget that the Favor Vault is open on SwissBorg from 1 PM today. Don't miss out if you already have missed out. And yeah, that's all from me. But again, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all on Monday.